It's getting harder and harder to find those moments of connection that are really accessible and authentic to people, and I think there's less of that just that organically happens in our lives. And so I feel really lucky that we have a place that we can create that and enjoy products that are made right where they're grown by people who care about them. It can still happen in a way that you probably can come and still know people who are there, but maybe you haven't seen them for a while, or make a new friend while you're here. My name is Melissa Dobernake. I go by Missy most often, and I'm the cider maker, the owner, and kind of do a little bit of everything here at the cidery. It's a really fun stage to be at with the business, because these last 5 years, especially at the beginning, there was just a lot of fear, a lot of the unknown, I guess. Now it's very cool that we have peace about that obviously people are coming, that the orchard will remain a beautiful old orchard because those apples have value. And so now we're at a bit of a turning point. For us, it goes back to that heart of creating connection and creating opportunities for our community, for visitors to our community, to experience something authentic. The history, it's a big question. It was my in-laws' family that bought it and has continued the farm till today. After that, now my husband and I run it, and 6 years ago we decided to start the cidery as a way to add value to the existing apples that are already here. Because we are so tied to the land and we only use our own apples, we follow very much more of a seasonal model. It was right before harvest and all the trees were loaded with heavy red apples, and it just looked so beautiful to me, being from the prairies especially. And I'm like, man, don't the trees look so beautiful, John? And he just looked, said, I said, with all the red apples? And he's like, it looks a lot better when they're just green, or no, there's no apples. And I didn't really get what he meant, but now that I've been through, almost 2 decades of harvest with them, I can see once the trees are just green with no apples, we can feel as farmers, but then we also can almost feel the trees like actual sigh of relief that the crop is off and the trees can just put into energy for next year rather than trying to produce fruit. We press the apples when they're fresh off the trees, and then they're fermented, and then we let the cider just rest all winter. So it does kind of run all year, and that there's always something happening with the cider, but the pressing, the fermenting happens in the fall in sync with when the apples are at their best. Well, my husband and his dear father, who's well into his 80s now, are still out on the farm every single day, light till dark, keeping it going. So in that sense, it's very much a true family farm. Our kids are very much part of the orchard, but we don't have them work here too much yet. In the summer, they help out at the events with bussing tables and greeting people. It's Dave and I mostly. So. We had a lot of new events this year at the cidery. They ranged anything from like yoga and paint nights, lots of foodie events like high-end dinners right in the orchard. Our favorite events though were the live music. The whole thing was quite magic to have live music right in the orchard with amazing wood-fired pizza cooked on apple wood from our own farm, and cider, of course, celebrating that product that's made right here. And so that happened every week, and this year we'll be expanding it more often throughout the week, several nights a week, just because it really helped us again create that connection that we wanted with each other and with the land. One of our absolute favorite traditions of the year is our winter wassail. Wassail is kind of a quirky tradition that is done often in orchards as a way to acknowledge and bless the orchard and the land for the bounty that it gives us every year. And really, we just love the connection that it creates for us and our community to each other and to the land and to the orchard. You all gather around the oldest tree in the orchard, and we have a very special wassail song that we sing to it. We follow some of the really fun traditions like hanging toast in the tree. We pour cider from last year around the roots of that tree to kind of remind it of its purpose and to thank it for what it's produced. We sing and we bang some noisemakers and stuff, and that's to kind of wake up the orchard too, because usually by mid-January we're all done with winter and we want to start seeing signs of spring come back. So really it's just a lot of fun and a good reason to get together with our community. Yeah, they're resounding, kind of overlaying feeling that I've had throughout this whole journey of starting the cidery, and it's going to sound very cliche, but just gratitude that people support us. It's just that people see the value of tying a product to the place where it's made is something that we're constantly grateful for. So yeah, just a thank you to our community, to people who believe in what we're doing and support us. It's important to take a step back and breathe it in and just be like, this is actually really amazing what we have here. And I think because I so frequently with our visitors and with people that really appreciate what we're doing, I'm constantly reminded of how special it is. We are really lucky that life has brought us this opportunity, and we don't want to waste it, I guess. We want to share it and create something really special. The benefit of them now is that they've got huge amounts of tannin. Like if you bite one, oh, you can't eat them without making a face. They're hard to pick, they're really hard to press, and you get very little juice out of them. But the flavor they contribute, even in small amounts, is amazing. This is the variety I wanted to show you. We have Kingston Black here, but next to it is Porter's Perfection. And I just think they're so beautiful with how wild and gnarly they look compared to the commercial standards with dessert fruit. And these will be picked here in the next week. So there's a half a row of them, and they add a lot of that tartness and tannin to our cider. So they're pretty special to me. And to have this much cider fruit 4 years ago would have just been unbelievable. I just remember coming through here or not having any, having Golden Delicious here, and not even be able to imagine this. So I get a little bit giddy and overwhelmed with gratitude now that we have this.